4-0 win is a 4-0 win, but you're entirely happy with that performance?
No, I think I brushed up on some areas and just kind of slacked off on certain areas in parts of the game. Some of the parts of the game I'm really happy with. Obviously assessing it with different kind of analysis in a sense, wholeheartedly. Not overwhelmed with the game itself, but I know that there's a lot more to give, which is great. Probably playing in second gear after the first game, not even getting out of neutral. So yeah, it's just feeling that there's more gears to go and there's more rounds to play. So I've not kind of hit my ceiling as yet, which is dangerous. And I feel like it could quickly go from first, second to sixth gear, which is great.
We've seen you hit some incredible highs over the course of this year, but you're going to have to step it up right now if you're going to be a threat at the William Elwood Championship, aren't you?
100%. I mean, I came into this tournament just hoping that my confidence will be at the same level, the rhythm of the throw. Yeah, some of the throws I've been throwing short, just not finding it at the right spot, the release, because obviously changing with the rest and all of those things. So I'm getting there slowly but surely. I feel like I'm 70% there. So I could probably push it to 80%, 85% by tomorrow, and then hopefully give Gary Anderson a run for his money.
This is where it really gets interesting, this tournament. You play your first game, possibly a second one, then you have the Christmas break, and now it's going to be bang, 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 like those big tournaments like Grand Slam, Grand Prix, whatever, where it feels like the win is not very far away.
Yeah, I think ultimately I know that exact experience. I mean, winning the Euros, the Euro Tour in Germany, it was exactly that. You play the Friday, you play the Saturday, then Sunday comes thick and fast with 3 games on the day. It's exactly that, where it just goes bang, 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 like you said. Excited for it because now you can actually get into a rhythm, you can actually feel the throw. I felt a lot better there today, a lot more comfortable. The 180s were falling, and then midway through the game fell off a bit and then came back very quickly. Yeah, I think it was the last set where I could not miss in the first 2 legs, and I was like, all right, I'm back. And then as soon as I said I'm back, mentally I just switched off and then went on autopilot and then found it the last leg. But it's just one of those things that I'm happy about, that I've not kind of came here and threw 110 average and then dropped down to a kind of 95, 96, because that's a worry. But if I'm creeping up slowly but surely, who says the next one can't be a ton plus?
Well, it might need to be a ton plus. You take on Gary Anderson, 2-time winner of the William Elwood Championship. You mentioned rhythm. I assume you were watching last night when he played Mensa?
Yeah, it was like the Titanic. I mean, 3-hour battle, a ship versus an iceberg, and the iceberg won. Yeah, which was Gary Anderson. But yeah, it was something different and something that I've never experienced on the Alexander Palace before. And watching it there, Jason Lowe was quite slow as well, but I think last night Mensa was just extremely slow. Gary Anderson was riled up like he would have been. I would have been as well, because I think it was more deliberate. But yeah, I won't be as slow, but I'll definitely not choose the right table.
Well, that's the thing. You've seen one of the all-time great players there nearly go out the biggest tournament in the world because he couldn't handle somebody slowing things down or being on the wrong table. More than one way to win a game of darts, isn't there, Devon? Yeah,
I think obviously mentally, I mean, that doesn't show a weakness, but it does show vulnerability. Ultimately, I mean, Gary Anderson likes the rat-tat-tat, and he's always about, if this is the way the game's played, then I'm off. Sometimes you just have to adapt to the way in which the game is played and just do your best. Gary Anderson surely will be coming out tomorrow all guns blazing. I know that he likes this back end of the tournament because he feels like you said, the wind's in grasp. But yeah, it's slightly a different Devon Peterson now, and I think Devon Peterson of 3-4 years when I played him, I mean, I think he beat me, could have been 3-1. He took out some phenomenal shots as well. I'll never forget the 1-3-4 where to win the set as well, 54 top stops. Those kind of things now, Devon Peterson with slight more experience, I think I'll be able to kind of compose and kind of, my tools are a bit more sharper than it was back then. And I'm hoping that I'll be ready for tomorrow.
Can't wait to watch it all play.
Cheers, mate.
Devon, congratulations. Just obviously touching on the Gary game and what Dan said there. I know you're not a fan of tactics, but is it something that you would use if needed to win a game here at the Championships?
Never, ever. If you're not good enough to win with your skill and ability alone, then yeah, that's it. I mean, if you're trying to slow players down and all of that, I've had it done to me before. It's almost like spitting in somebody's face. It's a horrible thing. Yeah, tactics don't belong in the game. If you need to do to win it, obviously people want to win the money, they want to win the prestige, but win it outright. I think Gary Anderson's old school. He comes there, and if you beat me on the board with score and finishing, you deserve it. He shakes your hand, he walks off, ultimately respectable. If you do tactics like that, nah, he won't respect you at all. And it's not that it's him that respects you, but the public can see it as well. So the darting community, you lose slightly, not even the popularity, but the respect, not just because of the community, but within the peers. Like, so you'll see your colleagues look at you differently, and it's something that I mean, tomorrow's going to be absolutely just guns blazing, first v first, who's got the biggest punch, that's it.
As a fan, obviously you were watching last night. Do you think Mensah did it deliberately last night then, you as a fan watching?
Yeah, I think, well, deliberately, not to put Gary off, but deliberately as in what he's been working on. I know what Mensah's been working on back, like behind the scenes with mental coaching and stuff like that. And sometimes, I mean, he does like a thing with his chalk and turn it 3 times and then walks to the hockey, shakes his hand off 3 times. So these are procedures that you work on in the game to get to rhythm. And Mensah's already been slow, so those things just seem like to slow it down slightly more. I don't think that he done it deliberately to put Gary off. It was more just him turning up and just kind of playing his pace, because Gary's rat-a-tat, so if he's commanding the pace, I mean, he steers the ship basically. And yeah, I don't think he's quite comfortable with it as yet, because he hasn't put it in play as much as he wanted to, but I think that that's going to be Mensah's place for going forward.
Touch on your first round game, you said there was some stuff you weren't happy with, your darts dropping low. Between then and that, did you get a chance to speak to Wayne at all about it? Because I know Wayne you go back to quite a lot when things aren't going particularly right or there's something wrong.
Yeah, it's stuff that I know now. I mean, we've worked on so many times, so it's not like I just need to revisit different things that we've already spoken about, and it's something that it's rhythm and it's point of release and it's pullback, so it's things that you can work on. But I'm kind of slowly but surely getting back to the rhythm that I had when I won the Euros back in, I can't remember, it's probably October, and feeling that kind of vibe. Like today was slightly different because I had an extra 3 days. Now I'll probably have like 24 hours before I need to add a bit more to what I did yesterday, but I know exactly what I done today that I didn't do the second round match. So yeah, I'm definitely going to approach it in a different way and definitely more equipped.
Touching on your percentages there, that you said 75, 80%, are you worried that if you go to 100%, it won't work?
No, not really. I think once everything changes, I mean, with me going to where I'm not missing, like the last 2 legs in that last set that I won, that is exactly where my rhythm needs to be, and the point of release that needs to be, because I felt it. I felt like if there was Super Saiyan levels, that was me kind of going to Super Saiyan level 4, and I just kind of felt like on fire. But as quick as that happened, I switched out of it, and that's what I should do. But I was so excited that I was back. So it's one of those things. Luckily, Jason let me off, and I got through. But I'm happy that that's happened, so now I can go back tonight and kind of just add to it, and then hopefully tomorrow morning just turn up and replicate it.
Devon, congratulations as always, buddy. Thank you.
Cheers, my man. Thanks a lot.
Dev, just a couple from me. I mean, what can you draw from in terms of experience of being this back end of the tournament? Will it be the Euro Tour you draw on mainly? No
doubt. I mean, there's loads of majors that I've played in now, and the more you win on stage, the more confident you get, and playing in the Pro Tours, and just getting that level of more 180s. Just it seems so normal now. Before it was almost like I used to qualify for only 3 tournaments a year, majors, and that was like, and you're lucky if you stay in the first round or second round. Now getting to more back end of the tournaments, competing more, staying focused for longer. Yeah, just building on this. It's fantastic, and I think that where I'm at now is the experience, or the majors that I've experienced this year has definitely added to what I have on stage now. So I think that it would definitely help me through the next few rounds.
Do you think it's helpful there's repetition as well, coming from, obviously you've played today and you're back here tomorrow, whereas Gary has had at least 48 hours to cool down?
We'll only know tomorrow. Gary Anderson might have, I mean, if he was still riled up, he might have still feel the ramifications tomorrow and just still kind of mix them. He might have had a day off today, so chilling out, kind of experiencing that. But I feel as though my confidence, I can only focus on my game. I don't focus on what he can do, because I can't impact that at all. I can only focus on my game, so I'm happy that I played the way I did play, and still feeling like there's many more gears to go through. So I'm over the moon with getting to the next round, and I know that there's a lot more that's needed to be added, but I'm in a great space.
Brilliant. Cheers for your time,
Cheers.
Dad.